And we are speaking today with Elizabeth W. Wilson, and her company is Elizabeth Wilson and Associates, and she is based in Atlanta, Georgia. She is an author and a business consultant and speaker, very successful, and she has a book that I really want you all to pick up a copy called When Life Gives You Lemons, Open a Lemonade Stand. Yeah. And I love that title. Now, the website is elizabethwwilson.com. Don't forget the W in the middle. So it's elizabethwwilson.com to get to her website and get all the information about where she'll be speaking. And if you want to purchase her products, you can do that through the website also. But I want to welcome you, Elizabeth. Thank you for taking time out. You're a very busy lady.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Barb, to come and speak. And it's been a very busy month, but I'm glad we were finally able to connect.
Yes, I am too. And you wear many, many hats with the work that you do. And you travel throughout the United States. So even though you're in Georgia, you do travel and speak and also provide consulting services, correct?
I do, yes.
Okay, great. Now, one of the things that as I've been talking with a lot of the young people as part of the little 15-minute interviews that we're doing and so forth, and we're just crushing the negativity. That's where we're at right now. And there's plenty of it out there, and we're just going to use every opportunity we have to reach out and to encourage people. And one of the things that really stands out in the work that you do is, in spite of low income, no income, bad economy, and all of that, you are still inspiring people to start their own businesses.
Yes, and what's so interesting, Barb, is I wrote this book about 2 years ago, so I don't want to claim to be a prophet, but I think this book is more appropriate now than ever before because at one time, only certain people were kind of having trouble and struggling and trying to find viable employment, and kind of people who had had their backs against the wall. So I wrote the book to encourage them to look for other ways to create their own incomes, their own jobs, their own self-sufficiency. Well, now look at the country. I said this message is not just for people who have been disadvantaged, but it really is for everyone. And I even think that the way the economy turned around is going to be beneficial for all of us, because if we are all faced with this problem, we can all work on solutions together. And I think one of those solutions is to create more businesses in this country, and that we become less, quote-unquote, job dependent.
And that's one of the things that our young people in this generation, one of the things that they're facing is the entry-level jobs that we all had when we first came out of college or out of high school. Right now, they're filled by senior citizens.
Exactly.
And so they are really having a tough time just getting a foot in the door to be able to establish their own livelihoods. So,
Barb, you know what? I'm glad. I'm probably one of the happiest people in the country right now, because those doors have closed. That means other windows will open up. And I think we kind of put people on the track, particularly at an early age. This country has put people on the track of go to school to get a good job, start working at McDonald's as soon as you turn 12, 13, 14-year-old, and then find another similar job and another similar job. And that has kept us kind of, it taps you out for your potential. You start so early being dependent on someone else giving you some money or making the money for you, and you never have that opportunity, particularly at a young age, to try it, to be creative, to take the gifts that have been given to you and see if you can stretch them. I mean, that's the best time ever to work a business, I think, is when you're young, before you have the house note, mortgage, before you have the car note, before you have that student loan debt that is usually, someone has a burden when they're 20, 21, 22 years old. It takes them 10, 15 years to pay for that. Before all of that comes on the scene, most people have a seed of an ideal in them. What we should be doing is trying to help grow those seeds. Just like we were talking earlier about thinking about, even in the wintertime, thinking about spring. Even in the earliest stages of a young person's development, we should be trying to help them to grow those ideals, to grow that creativeness that's in them, because I believe that at an early age, people know that there's something that they've been called to do, and if we can encourage them not only to do it, but to turn it into something that will be profitable for them, we would turn this country around.
I totally agree with that, and that leads right into my very first question. Leads perfectly into that. Those that do have that idea, they know that there's something that they love to do, and just as you were saying, if they start that entry-level job at someplace, they hate going to work every day. They can't wait to get their shift over with. The money isn't what it should be, and they don't see a way up or a way out. And so those people, those young people that know there's something better and they have a passion for something, what is the first step when they consider, can I really make money at this? And how do I know how much to charge? And those types of questions. What is the first step for them? What are some of your tips?
I think the first step is to start. A lot of times when people will tell people you have to, write this very detailed business plan, you have to have a lot of money, you have to have all of these things. I think it's just like anything else, whether it be selling, whether it be creating a good product, you've got to get on a path where you're willing to start trying it out. That path leads to the opportunity to improve a product because you keep getting feedback from people. That path leads you to let you know what's working early and what's not. That first start, I think, is so important, and the start be encouraged to not just concentrate on profitability for the business right away where you're concentrating on making so much money, but actually you have your feet in the water and you're learning about entrepreneurship. There are people who are sometimes what we call serial entrepreneurs, where they try over and over and over again until they really master the craft. This is a good time to try one business. If it works, fine. If it doesn't, try another one. To try to make money selling one thing. If that thing doesn't sell, try selling another one. And actually, if we really work this thing, we can start investing in people and businesses very early, to the point where people have a chance to R&D, do research and development, to get feedback, to get support. I think all of those things are not in place now very much, and we should put them in place.
Well, I've noticed more and more focus on microfinance outside of the United States, and
Right.
Firstly, for the past 20 years, I've had a bit of an issue with that because I'd like to see it in our communities more.
Me too. We are right on the same page. That is the main problem with the United States. Microenterprise and microfinance is encouraged and promoted around the world. Here, we do not do that. Even in the early stages, and again for people who are disadvantaged or who might have bad credit, that's the solution. Over here, you have to almost struggle to find funds for a business.
Right.
And for equity in a business, or to give people soft capital where they have time to repay a loan or a small amount of money, small amount of capital. We don't have a lot of those avenues in place, so people just think it's too hard.
Right.
If we look at those models and import them and incorporate them into our school systems, our faith-based institutions, and other community organizations, we could answer a lot of the problems that we're having now just with the economy. I just see that as a potential solution.